There's a line to a quarry at the end of Thomas's branch. It goes for some distance along the road. Thomas was always very careful here in case anyone was coming. Peep, 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 he whistled, and then the people got out of the way, and he puffed slowly with his trucks rumbling behind them. Early one morning, there was no one on the road, but a large policeman was sitting on the grass close to the line. He was shaking a stone from his boot. Thomas liked policemen. He had been a great friend to the officer who used to live in the village, but had just retired. Thomas expected that the new policeman would be friendly too. Peep peep, he whistled, "Good morning." The policeman jumped and dropped his boot. He scrambled up and hopped round in one leg as he was facing Thomas. Thomas was sorry to see that he didn't look friendly at all. He was red in the face and very cross. The police rumbled about trying to keep his balance. "Disgraceful!" he spluttered. "I didn't get sleep a wink last night. It was so quiet now engines come whistling subtly behind me. My first day in the country, too." He picked up his boot. "I'm sorry, sir," said Thomas. "I only said good morning." The policeman grunted and leaned against Thomas, his buffer. He put his boot on. He drew himself up to pointed to Thomas. "Where's your cow catcher?" he asked. "I don't catch cows, sir." "Don't be funny," snapped the policeman. He looked at Thomas's wheels. "No side plates either." And he wrote in his notebook, "Engines going on public roads must have the wheels covered and a cow catcher in front. You haven't, so you are dangerous to the public." "Rubbish," said Thomas's driver. "We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident." "That makes it worse," the policeman answered. He wrote "regular lawbreaker" in his book. Thomas puffed sadly away. The fat controller was having breakfast. He was eating toast and marmalade. He had the newspaper open in front of him, and his wife had just given him some more coffee. The butler knocked and came in. "Excuse me, sir, you weren't on the telephone." "Bother that telephone," said the fat controller. "I'm sorry, my dear," he said a few minutes later to his wife. "Thomas is in trouble with the police, and I must go at once." He grubbed down his coffee and hurried from the room. At the junction, the driver told the fat controller what had happened. "Dangerous to the public indeed? We'll see about that." The policeman was at the bottom of the platform. The fat controller spoke to the policeman. However much he argued with him, it was no good. "The law is the law," he said, "and we can't change it." The fat controller felt exhausted. He mopped his face. "I'm sorry, driver," he said. "It's no use arguing with policemen. We will have to make those cowcatcher things for Thomas, I suppose." "Everyone will laugh, sir," said Thomas sadly. "They'll say I look like a tram." The fat controller stared. Then he laughed. "Well done, Thomas. Why didn't I think of that before? We need a tram engine. When I was on my holiday, I met a nice little engine called Toby. He hasn't enough work to do, and he needs a change. I'll write to his controller at once." A few days later, Toby arrived. "That's a good engine," said the fat controller. "I see you bought Henrietta. Do you mind? You don't mind, do you, sir?" asked Toby anxiously. "The station master wanted to use her as a hen house. That would never do." "No, indeed," said the Fat Controller gladly. "We couldn't allow that." Toby made the trucks behave even better than Thomas did. At first, Thomas was jealous, but he was so pleased when Toby rang his bell and made the policeman jump. "Hey, you!" that they had been good friends ever since.